This ancient aliens thing on the History Channel, Ryan, with evidence of ancient aliens and superior technology to travel through space and fight, fucking kill with technology in space and be a complete and disgusting abomination to the natural laws provided to maintain lives on these beautiful planets that are in a very fragile state if something goes wrong. You get a black hole over here. You see what I'm saying? It's neat the way that when I looked at space and they did the stuff with Hawking to me, and I sat and looked at everything, and I've always been this way. That was when I was at ASU with the kids in the Islamic study class and the Arab kids who have read the Quran, and there's better scientific information in the Quran in far as understanding goes than there is in the Bible, because the people that wrote the Quran learned from the Vatican's mistakes that you have to study science and you have to be a student. You have to be on top of things scientifically to get the masses to accept the mind fuck because it's scientifically valid, right? Okay. Shh. I'm waking here. Okay. So I'm walking here. Everybody's talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying. Okay. And so, but the thing is, like I told lots of people right off the bat when they took me to Sierra Vista, I said, if science invalidates your religion, you need new religion. And if your science has no religion, you just have genocide. You just have homicidal genocide, like the Nazis and the Bolsheviks and the government of China, the government of the United States, the government of of European nations, all the governments. Okay, government is just a group of people together that agree, like Dad said, they pretend to plunder, they pretend to quarrel to agree to plunder. But money's not real. So you had this thing, I watched the Fox News thing with the little speaker girl from the White House thing, and I didn't even get to her. As soon as she got on, I turned it off because they had that one guy, well, I want two bills, because this will be too great of a deficit. If you do two, what's the difference if you go into debt for $2.4 million through two reverse mortgages or one? It's still $2.4 trillion, right? Look, first of all, money's not real. It's just a way for arrogant people to take ignorant people and fuck them in the mind and get them to enjoy it and then participate, right? Hey, is that Jasmine Crockett? Yes, it is. And so you sit there and you go, wait. Now she's wearing her skirts tight for Nash. What happened to her dreams and her ambitions? You don't have dreams and ambitions if you're living the Gospels. Okay? You just want to be the nature boy from a really good Nat King Cole song. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. Always have trouble near and far, here and there. Here he said to me, but very wise, but sad of eye was he. Song reminds me of Judy Krishnamurti. Every time I think about it. And, because Judy was more sad of eye. Suzuki had a sadness to him, but he was a very hopeful kiddo. He always had this little, it wasn't a mischievous smile, it was an eternal hopeful smile. No matter what the devil and Satan do to us, life's eternal and grace is infinite, and the glory of God transcends the manipulation of the pervert. Okay? But you got to understand, Suzuki was mostly isolated and among his own people and teaching philosophy classes in Buddhism. Okay. So he had a little bit more hope because he was isolated in hopeful pockets. And the people in his government killed a lot of the people that were in his hopeful pockets to try to destroy that hope in that man. But life's eternal and grace is infinite, and he's Japanese. Okay. Japanese are like the Scots, the Scottish creed. If there's but one left, But the Japanese are different. Life is eternal and grace is infinite. So every time a baby is born, that man that just killed my children could be genetically connected, because like Joseph with his siblings and Caiaphas and Herod being cousins to Jesus. Okay, Caiaphas and Herod could end up accidentally being in a marriage that he gave birth to a kid who was just like Jesus. So you just murdered Jesus to be have your kingdom be. Every young king wants his kingdom to be gorgeous and sophisticated, and then here comes the guy that kills the Krishna, and then he ends up marrying a woman that decided to marry him, and they give birth to the Buddha, and the Buddha does not accept mass murder over the manipulating the people. He will only accept the peace of the Krishna. Then you have to hunt down and kill your own son and then try to clone yourself to replace your son because you're God and you tell everybody what to do with money and drone technologies when money's not real. And drone technologies, it's just another way of putting together science, inventing science projects to kill people over your money. I got to let a lizard out. Hold on. You little goof, what are you doing in here? You know this is like a death trap for you lizards, and it's just not fun. Scary, too. What up, bud? I've got it. I have to use the pliers to turn this thing because it gets stuck. So you're going to have to be patient. Go that way. Go that way. Go that way. Go that way. There you go. Go, go, go. Close the door. I'm going to have to get this sticking. You are. Boy, what are you? Must be a military lizard. Has to be given orders on which way to go. It's a military lizard. Yep. Hey, go take a gun and go kill in that direction, lizard. Don't come in here. You might end up dead. Nah, coming in these houses is kind of a scary place for a lizard. They're like Betsy. See a door, it's open, they go into it. Lizards are like that. Here's a hole, crawl into it. Oh shit, I don't want to stay in here. There's those people. They're scary. Yeah. Well, I'm not that way with lizards, but I see a recluse on the ground, it gets too close, they become too many, I'll step on them. I'll clean out the stuff for too many long legs. I don't have to kill the long legs. I'm sure the recluses are the same way. Long legs kill each other. I've watched them. Yeah. It's like watching politics or America's Got Talent or Dancing with the Stars or American Idol. You just watch, here comes the spider one day. It's their own children will come down and kill mother. Yeah. It's like, if you want to win American Idol, you're going to have that dog-eat-dog mentality. Okay, but what if I have kids and they're not as attractive and as talented as me and they commit suicide because they're not Victor Laveau? Did that ever cross your mind? Don't you want to live the Lord's Prayer now? I don't think you love your children. I think you love your children, but I don't think you love your children. I think, that love is a mystery to you because truth is an even bigger mystery to you than your perception of love. Well, I'm a better person than you. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. That's why my life story is in the book of Revelation and yours is not. I'm just looking at the spiders up there. Spiders. So, you don't understand? Okay. If I piss you off, it's because you're a selfish fucking murdering cow like Nebuchadnezzar and Caesar and Pharaoh. And you're just like him, you're a chip off the old fucking block. If I piss you off and you can't stand me and hate me and wish I was dead and wish the CIA... No, they don't want to run me over in the parking lot of Best Buy. They want to poison me with chemicals that the World Health Organization has deemed a carcinogen for cancer, but political shenanigans still allow us to mass murder the poor with them. Like that poor little girl that died a couple months ago in El Paso. You could see the cancer tumors in her midsection just taking over the body and shutting down all her vital organs and killing her. And she says, well, take my body and do research. And they knowing damn well from watching the damn Matlock show with the family that took the money for the thing because they were stuck by the freeway, knowing damn well that living by the freeway kills you as slow, painful carbon emission poisoning deaths as if you lived in Brad Pitt's and Tom Cruise's pit crew that never went home and constantly had the race going and was constantly doing the pit crew. And it's not a question of if you're going to die from the chemical poisoning of it in intense capacity, it's when. Now, you could take the sexy driver and you could give him, like you do with Alex Rodriguez, and you could do stem cell therapies and send him off to do the salt with the mineral baths and all the stuff in the most pristine communities like him and LL Cool J and his wife. And you buy LL Cool J's wife's jewelry to, so they can afford the Hamptons and the salt baths and the stem cell research therapies to have a better quality of life and fuck longer than you fuck. Okay? And you won't be the Energizer Bunny of love at Camp Lejeune, Pope Air Force Base, and Fort Bragg ever again. They may have lost a fuck contest with you when in the 1990s, but they won't in the 1980s, but they won't lose a fuck like they did to me in Sheridan, the Navy SEAL with all the guys trying to outfuck me with bigger dick with my wife. And I waited for her one time to try to get her to stay home because I just figured, well, I just got to outdo him in bed, and I did. And Amy went and told them all, the best sex I ever had in my life last night was with Ralphie when I got home because he wanted me to stay home with the kids, right? And then Thor and Bob Alley and Elijah, the Mr. Bull Durham, and she's running around telling everybody that her husband's better in bed than you guys are. Okay, so when we went to Fort Huachuca and they all started fucking my wife, oh no, they made sure, no, all the super soldiers and the Tom Cruises and the Jack Reachers and the Jack Ryans and John Krasinski's, we're not going to get out fucked by Parsons. He only has a 5, and he doesn't even have. He's missed 1/4 of an inch of having an average 6-foot penis. I'm going to get out fucked by that guy. No, but they were all fucking my wife, and I was taking care of the kids and, going online and trying to talk people out of fucking around on their kids to get a paycheck to mass murder and mass rape children across the border. So but they didn't get out fucked. Okay, all the super soldiers at Fort Huachuca out fucked me. Okay, but all the women laughed at him because it's like, yeah, you're all out fucking him and doing it to his sexually groomed and abused wife and putting on underground chat rooms to all laugh about him. But in the meantime, he's the only guy that stood up to save little girls from getting raped to death in Mexico. And even Barack Obama didn't stand up to do that, or George Walker Bush. Or Tom Cruise, or Elon Musk, or Donald Trump, or Joe Biden, or Kamala Harris, because she doesn't get it. Rodney, here, I'm going to get a knife and act like I'm stabbing with you, but turn last minute. Remember when he used to do that? It drove me crazy. I said, Rodney, don't do that shit. You could fuck up and hurt yourself and somebody else doing that. That's not funny. He used to take a big butcher knife and come at you and hit you real hard with the handle as he turned it. And I'd be like, that shit is not funny, Rodney, don't do that. Wahaha, wahaha. Hear that, mama? He'd be saying waha and shit. The black little girl in Denver when we were on the water slides. And the mom goes, it's okay. I said, no, she's right. It's funny. That's what I told her when I came down the thing, because he pushed me and I didn't have my little foam pad and it ripped all my ass meat up and he thought it was funny. And I'm like, it wasn't funny. It's like, do you know homosexual guys, if you don't have sex with them, can be just as mean as football players? Maybe football players are. Oh, never thought about that. Yeah, because Mick Daly with the whole dick measuring contest and the thing. And I said, no, you act more like, okay, you all trying to see us naked and critique us naked and stuff. I don't want to see any of you naked. I wish we had private individual showers where we could all wear our robes and then not have to look at each other naked. I hate looking at other men naked. Makes my dick shrivel up behind my legs and say, oh, yeah, I don't want to see you naked. I want you to have privacy with your girl and have children and enjoy each other naked, but I don't want to see you naked. Are you kidding? I grew up in a rabbinic tradition. We all wear robes and cover up and be modest and don't try to have a dick measuring contest so we can all enjoy sexual holy covenants without coveting and contest. And I got a bigger dick than you. You also got a twisted brain. I love you too, all right? Peace. Wahaha, wahaha. I think it's not funny, but whatever teaches you to be a good person and stop fighting and fucking with technology, I will do.